Since 2017, the Leibniz Institute for Research on Society and Space, located in the small town of Erkner near Berlin, has hosted the annual IRS Spring Academy on Investigating Spaces. Like a summer school, only held in May, the Spring Academy is a 4-day event that brings together early career researchers from around the world to discuss, well, space. More precisely, the spaces that we, as a society, create, inhabit, and change. It provides early career researchers an opportunity to network, to get feedback and inspiration, to improve their work and to advance their careers, but also to enjoy. So, if you are a PhD student or a postdoc from the social sciences or humanities, and your research touches upon the matter of space, this could be for you.
So hi, I'm Oliver Ebert. I'm the director of the Leibniz Institute for Research on Society and Space. I'm an economic geographer. The mission of the Spring Academy is really to advance our knowledge at the intersection of social sciences on the one hand and spatial development on the other hand. We address many disciplines, many different disciplines, and try to bring these disciplines into a fruitful dialogue and to develop new conceptualizations on space, but also new methodologies to study topics from a spatial perspective.
I'm Michael Emsch. I'm from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. I am in 2 departments there. I'm in geography and epidemiology. The best sort of scholarship that is meaningful is interdisciplinary. For sort of things that are public health related or sort of population related, the sort of big questions, a lot of them are interdisciplinary questions that can be useful. And so my work is very applied and interdisciplinary.
So I'm Charlotte Bill. I am a lecturer at Newcastle University in landscape architecture, although my undergraduate master's and PhD is in human geography. There's kind of an interdisciplinary element that really appealed to me. I'm someone who very much sees myself as working at interdisciplinary borders. I work at the intersection of geography, politics, landscape, but also performance art. So I was really attracted to the event as something that was really being celebrated as an interdisciplinary opportunity for sharing, bringing together different ways of thinking about infection, spaces of infection, different concept theories, methodologies. So that was something that very much appealed to me.
Don't care too much about disciplinary background. It is an interdisciplinary event and everybody is invited as long as he or she is really interested in social scientific perspectives on spatial issues. This is really the kind of our shared interest.
Each year, the Spring Academy focuses on a specific topic, and each year a high-profile partner from the Berlin area contributes to the program. At least one day of the Academy takes place at the partner's location.
Yeah, so the IRS is located in the region of Berlin-Brandenburg, and we are really lucky with that because this is one of the richest opportunity spaces for doing research. Depending on the topic of the Spring Academy, we look for collaborators in the region who are related to that topic. So for instance, when we did the Spring Academy on spaces of crisis, we collaborated closely with Red Cross Germany, who have a really advanced approach to crisis management. And so this is a kind of complement depending to the topic. And usually we try to get on the side of the partner and we try to connect the interaction with the partner also with site visits or with field trips, so that you learn inside the seminar room but also in the real world, so to say.
In May 2022, our most recent Spring Academy focused on the multiple spatial dimensions of the COVID-19 pandemic. The Robert Koch Institute, Germany's leading public health research and disease control institution, acted as local partner. While on site, participants received insights into the most up-to-date modeling of the spread of COVID-19, but also into the varied roles of spaces necessary to understand the dynamics of infection. The event as a whole spanned a much wider ground, from health-oriented urban planning to the origins and impacts of infectious diseases. The IRS Spring Academy combines a variety of formats to foster learning, exchange and networking, making the 4-day event as productive to participants as possible.
I think the aspect of interactivity is really a key asset of the Spring Academy. We spent quite a bit of effort into developing highly interactive formats. Of course, we also have classical formats like keynote lectures, but the main parts of the Spring Academy are really highly interactive formats. So we have, for instance, academic speed networking, a very intensive experience where you get in touch with all the other participants in roughly 1 hour.
The first day when we, had sort of networking activities, I wish I would have had activities like that as a sort of a junior scholar, senior PhD student and postdoc, because I think that this sort of network that people are developing here amongst one another, as well as with some of the sort of faculty contributors, I think will be really useful.
The dynamic of community transmission takes over.
So the paper pitches, this is a highly standardized format. You have 5 minutes and you have one PowerPoint slide, and this is the format to present one idea that is key in your dissertation project, for instance. And then in the 15 minutes of discussion, you receive a maximum of feedback on your idea.
You need to run ideas by people, and both peers as well as people that maybe have more experience than you.
I found the paper pitches, a really excellent idea for, what I would say is I work for the Royal Geographical Society as their early career and mentoring officer. And those kind of paper pitches are just such a fantastic opportunity to provide early careers with opportunities to think through an idea and to get some early feedback in a really welcoming, inclusive format in a way that wasn't intimidating. I think being able to consolidate your idea into just one slide is just really valuable.
We have doing research workshops. So here, by the doing research workshops, it's really the idea is to go to discuss issues of fieldwork, but not as it is presented in textbooks, but more, the clumsiness of the practices of doing fieldwork and the real problems on the ground when you're in the field, when you have to make decisions about how to get data, how to get access to a field, how to analyze data that might be fragmented. So this is really the practice of doing research is at the forefront. If you are in the middle of doing fieldwork and you're really challenged by a particular problem, you can bring in this into the doing research workshop, and you will get some advice from experienced people who know about the practicalities and also the trickiness of fieldwork, which is sometimes much more clumsy than the accounts you find in textbooks.
Over time, you will learn to get sufficiently detached from your own paper.
I think especially as an early career researcher, you are usually not so experienced in publishing, of course. That's why you are an early researcher. Publishing, partly it is about scientific genius, but partly it is also more like a craft, right? And it's something that can be learned and something that can be improved quite easily if you get the right advice from experienced people. And this is the idea of these Meet the Editors and Reviewers panel. Success is more likely if you understand better how the people who make the decisions, how they read your paper and how they look at papers and what is important for them.
Myself and others on the panel have been editors and are on editorial boards and have done a lot of reviewing, and so that's going to be practically useful to people, I think, because it is something that you learn by doing usually, but getting advice from people that have experience with it will be really useful.
it can be quite insightful to shift perspectives and to look at the publishing process from the other side. We try to get really top scientists, internationally highly renowned scientists to the Spring Academy. And usually as an early career researcher, it's very difficult to get in touch with such people. So they have a very tight time schedule, and if you see them at the conference, for instance, most of the time they are talking to other people, and it's very difficult to get in touch to them and also to get their attention. And so what we offer here is that we offer a matchmaking. You have your topic and your ideas, and we help you to get in touch with these leading scientists, and they will listen to you for 1 hour, and they will think through your work together with yourself, and they will give advice and feedback to your work.
I think on the whole, it was a really positive experience for me. I found the sessions, really interesting. I thought the whole event was incredibly well organised, very well communicated, and all of those sorts of things. I thought what was lovely was there's plenty of opportunity for networking. There was also a range of kind of activities and formats throughout I think it was 3.5 days. It was quite an intense period. There were long days, and I think after COVID and kind of being on screen, there was this really lovely opportunity to be back together.
We have had multiple venues here, including this research center, which is at a lovely spot in sort of peri-urban area. The US, we need to learn from Germany about public transportation because it's so easy to get here, as well as it's a nice setting, and we've had wonderful weather and done a lot of it outside, which has been wonderful as well.
Well, I would say I don't think I'm being unkind to say Erkner's a bit as a location. The actual building itself I thought was lovely. I thought the facilities there were more than adequate, and the staff were incredibly helpful, polite, friendly, welcoming. Couldn't do more to kind of make me feel welcome in a city I'd not visited before. I thought the catering was superb, and I've come back to my own institution and told them that we need to do more than cheese sandwiches. We
had a dinner last night on a lake near the Robert Koch Institute, which was just a glorious setting. And so I've enjoyed the place a lot. And maybe this 4 days will lead to seeding ideas that people will take forward and do wonderful work.